Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to From the Ashes. And for the last time, shorts. Yes, after this, we will be rechristening it something else. And it's going to be from now on known as From the Ashes tier lists. Mainly because our shorts are never that short. And we started off with a pretty good, way of doing it, but it's just ridiculously long now. So, on that, we are on our final episode of the Ben 10 tier list with the aliens that don't matter except for one. And with me, we have, as always, these two guys. What's up, these two guys?
Uh, is that both of our names?
Yes, just these two guys.
Interesting. Hi, I'm these two guys.
I am also these two guys.
Well, all right.
Glad to be on the show.
Glad to have you here. All right. Well, these two guys, why don't you start off by that'd be good. Oh my gosh. All right. So Arson, how about we start off by recapping the whole list?
I was going to have like one of those like text to speech AIs, like just say the whole thing. But I was so lazy, I couldn't even do that. I had a whole week. I had more than that because we delayed it by a bit.
Yeah.
And I still didn't do it. So I guess that's on me, honestly.
Dude, that would have been absolutely awesome. That would have freaking, oh my gosh, that would have been great.
The sound quality
would
would
have
have
been
been absolutely abysmal, though. But yeah, it would have been pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. It's for the memes, you know?
I was gonna say something else. I don't know. I think I'm just kind of trying to delay the inevitable here.
Well, while Arson speaks for the next 5 minutes on this list, enjoy.
So Grim.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to play a card?
Pick a card. No, I'm just kidding. All right, fine.
Do it in one breath.
Not possible. Anyways, in S tier we have Diamond Head, Cannon Bolt, Wrath, Swamp Fire, Ultimate Echo, Accelerate, Upgrade, Ghost Freak, Swamp Fire again, Swamp Fire 1.0, Heat Blast, Way Big, Buff Chill Man, the mascot of Omniverse. Look, if you really wanted to see it, you could just go on YouTube and look at it from there.
It's up right now.
It's more incentive to do it anyways. Like, if you're so freaking curious, why don't you just go look at it? You're helping us out anyways, whatever. Following feedback, we have Humongousaur, Ultimate Swamp Fire, Clockwork, and finally NRG, capping off S tier. And in A tier, we have Forearms, Armadillo, Atomics, Ultimate Humongousaur, NRG, the unarmored version. The armored version is at the end of S tier. Ripjaws, Snarrow, both Upchucks, Goop, and finally Grey Matter. And in B tier, we have Brainstorm, Gravitack, Ultimate Cannon Bolt, Canadian, Shock Squatch,
Hey.
Giant Turtle, Terra Spin, Wild Mutt, Spider Monkey. Ah, that ant guy.
that spins on a ball.
Yeah, Ball Weevil. The less cooler Upchuck. No, I'm just kidding. Eatle.
All right.
No, you're right.
Man. I mean, Mega
Quiet
Block.
you.
Blocks. Wild Vine. Lobo. Then Wolf.
Sorry.
Joe Pesci. I mean, Gut Rot. Ditto. Chromastone. Amphibian. Victor Von Dracula. Vampire. And finally, who is that? Grandpa Max? I mean, Guy. Same voice actor.
Don't you mean Uncle?
Yeah. And in C tier, we have Magneto, The less cooler duplicating alien, according to Grimm.
Underrated.
The cool aerophibian and the less cooler flying pterodactyl guy.
Yep.
Awesome freeze lizard.
He's really
I'm just
stretching
coming up-
these.
Yeah, I'm just coming up with names now.
I know.
Dr. Robotnik if he was a mole man. My old man, Stinkfly,
My old man.
Buzz Shock.
Is your old man that short?
Well, no, maybe actually, yeah. Chicken Man. Oh, I remember what the other Kickin' Hawk's name was. It was Liam. That was his name.
Liam?
Yeah, that was his name.
It wasn't anything like crazy or like it was just Liam.
Yeah, it was just Liam.
That's funny.
It was Liam.
That's really funny.
Liam Hemsworth. No.
Liam Nelson, whatever.
Nelson.
Liam Nelson.
Kickin' Hawk, Nanomech, Ultimate Spider Monkey, Water Hazard, Fairy Odd Parent.
Sly Stallone.
Nuke him, but he's a frog. Yeah. And the less, I guess, the cooler color palette, but still really pointless Ultimate Big Chill. And
I
in
wouldn't say that.
D tier,
Definitely cooler palette.
we have Goat Hopper, the best. Frankenweenie. My dead fish that somehow came back alive in the sewer system. Spitto. Grimm's deceased toe that came back to life. Overkill, the guy that never got used.
More like
Strong sailing,
Underkill.
man.
Way bigger. Warpup and Disappointment.
On many levels. Well,
and then there you go. That's it so far.
All right, guys. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we appreciate you listening. We're out of time.
Pretty much.
The episode time with that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, to be fair, we have got our last 6 aliens on our list, and 5 of the 6, I have no idea who they are. I am Mr. Irrelevant in this matter, whatever. I'm just irrelevant. So let's start off with the first one. Whoever that is, red guy. I don't know. Is he spitting out soda?
Oh, come on, man. Don't treat Overflow like that.
Oh, so it is water based. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Grim, I think you should start with this one.
I quite like Overflow's design. The biggest problem with the reboot is that it just feels too kiddie. You know what I mean? I feel like when you look at Overflow, you're supposed to be like, "Oh, it's a fire truck." You know what I mean? Like it feels too kiddie and stuff. So if Overflow is in like the OG design, I feel like he could really, really work. I think he's got a very like solid basis as a design. But again, it's just the art style. That's the only thing that holds a lot of these aliens back for me. But honestly, I think that Overflow rocks it pretty well.
Oh, let me say one thing. You're talking like Transformers versus freaking Transformers rescue bots. Like that's what we got here. I'm just saying.
Pretty much. Well, okay, except Rescue Bots was actually a pretty well written show. I don't know about this, but
see, my point taken. Okay, I'm back out.
Yeah. So like again, if we could, because I mean, look at Omniverse, right? the main artist for the original series did feedback in that style, and he looked pretty good. So I feel like if we could see what these aliens would like in a more traditional Ben 10 style, I think it'd be pretty interesting. But I think Overflow does use this style quite well. For all of its faults, I think he uses it quite well. He's one of the more appealing aliens to look at, in my opinion. I mean, that's my TED talk. You can say something now, Assassin.
Oh, is it a bad time to say I came into the kitchen for an apple?
No,
Look, man,
because
maybe.
I was gonna go to the
Final-
kitchen for a piece of pie.
It's the final episode, man. Come on, can we all just relish in this moment?
Relish doesn't go good on pie though.
A fair point.
Ew.
But I have, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm about to say this. But I made sure to get Cool Whip.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
replace it with mayo.
Uh,
Okay, back on topic, I guess. Overflow. He's better than Water Hazard. Like,
He is,
literally,
he is.
he's literally a better, more refined, just all around better version than Water Hazard. I like Water Hazard's aesthetics more, but when it comes to just like power and all that stuff, then Overflow is definitely better. And we actually got some insight as to how these aliens actually are. They're actually pirates. They're like
That's funny.
they're like a pirate kind of like a species almost, which is really funny considering the way Ben uses them. But like most of them are like into that pirate life, which is kind of funny to think about. But I mean, no, yeah, this Overflow is like bar none one of the better water aliens in Ben's roster. Unfortunately, he's not in Ben Prime's. Probably, maybe Overflow exists in that, but yeah, he could literally just turn into like a pressure washer, or he can make his water so like sharp, or he just like expels so much so fast that he can slice off tentacles. And it's just like good stuff. He can even fly around with it, almost kind of like Heat Blast with his like fire. He can just kind of like lift himself off the ground like those water jetpacks. It's pretty cool. He's definitely one of my favorite aliens in the reboot, surprisingly, which is not really saying a lot, but it's the thought that counts. I'm honestly thinking of ranking him quite high because he is like one of my he's one of my more favorite reboot aliens. Heck, he's just generally like one of like my favorite aliens in general. Like he's a good alien, honestly. I like his kind of homeworld way of living, and that's like one thing that like only two of these, like Overflow is one of them, and that's like one thing I love about like two of these aliens over many of the others is that you kind of do get to see their lifestyle, even though it's not in the main show, but you still get to see it, so it's the thought that counts. And I mean, yeah, he's cool. I like him a lot. One of my favorite reboot aliens. And you do see him a lot, so he's not just the one and done kind of guy. Usually this is the part where Phoenix cuts in, but considering he has literally no sway in this whatsoever, it's just kind of like it's just kind of where do we want to put him? I don't know. Where do you want to put him?
I was thinking. I mean, yeah, no, I agree. Like he's a very cool water alien.
so
Considering Ben just doesn't have like very many good ones of those, I was thinking, like a middle to high, like A.
That's a solid ranking, honestly. I'm like not better than Ripjaws. Ripjaws is still way better.
I do think Ripjaws is better. I
But
mean, we have a whole episode of me going on tirade about Ripjaws, so
yeah, I think it's appropriate that Overflow goes under Goop. I feel like that's a pretty fair rating.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
good alien. I really like him.
So F.
Ah,
Alright.
funny.
Ha 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 ha.
People know the
Mister,
truth.
I've
you know?
never seen the show.
I never will.
Exactly, and that's why you can't get mad at where we place these aliens.
Where?
I feel like you guys are doing this on purpose. And by the way, Arson,
No.
don't forget, not even top of C tier, your boy. Just saying.
I know that. I'm just kind of moving forward.
Okay.
It's kind of pointless just reminiscing on things that have already happened, you know.
So
Done.
I basically did not know if you tried to message or like say something to me or not, because I literally did go upstairs to get a piece of pie.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did get my apple. I'm just kind of
Yeah. Well, I figured after you got your apple, it was time to get my pie. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Mhm.
All right. So next, we've got the octopus squid looking dude that is very vaguely familiar
Looks-
looking.
It
He
literally,
looks
it
very
literally is.
familiar.
Yeah, no, it's just Vilgax. It literally is Vilgax. Except in the
Okay.
reboot, he was trapped in the watch and like he pulled his scare where he breaks out. But you know, he needed Siphon's help with that. So I mean, hey, more Ghost Freak glaze. All of it. I'll take it whenever I can. But no, when Ben unlocked Vilgax, he nicknamed him Gax as his transformation name. And well, I mean, given that it's literally Vilgax, he was basically like the way big or the Alien X for this reboot, Ben. Gax was insanely overpowered. Literally does everything Vilgax can, with also the benefit of actually having his laser eyes, which
What about-
Vilgax never had until like Alien Force when he conquered the 10
Mhm.
worlds.
Hmm.
But yeah, he has the laser eyes and he's super strong. But it's Ben, so I mean I guess you can already 10-year-old Ben, by the way, so you can already kind of imagine how that goes. I
No,
mean, Grim, go ahead. He hasn't had really much screen time. It's like one of those aliens that like he really just loved using, but then like story
Mhm.
reasons and power reasons he had to get out.
tell me at least he used him against Vilgax.
He couldn't. That was literally Vilgax.
Oh,
Like
it
that was
literally is?
Yeah, the
Seriously?
DNA. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was.
the DNA sample was Vilgax.
Yeah, it was legit Vilgax, and like once he was busted out by Siphon, that was it. Couldn't turn into Gax anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll say this. I mean, design-wise, it is Vilgax. I wish that it kept Vilgax's his mask from OG Ben 10, because that was always my favorite like thing about Vilgax, is that he because when I was younger I always thought the tentacles were his mouth, and I'm not gonna lie, I think that's just a better way to think about it, because the tentacles as a beard looks kind of stupid, and that's not just the reboot, that's every single Ben 10 except for the OG one. um but you know aside from that, I mean, he looks cool. He's literally Vilgax. I mean, obviously, okay, but do we consider everything that Vilgax has done in previous like not franchises, previous like series? Do we take that into account when ranking
mean,
this guy? I feel like we
technically,
wouldn't.
technically speaking, it's a bit of a tricky question. Yes and no, considering that Vilgax has never done anything that the OG Vilgax did. So, but it is
Mhm.
still the same guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one
Um,
kinda seems a little stronger because he already has laser vision, even though he shouldn't. That's not something he
mhm.
should be able to possess. He just does. Um,
He does it because it's cool, man. Rule of cool.
yeah, it's the rule of cool. I mean, I don't know. It's just like one of those things where like, oh, also fun fact, Gax or Vilgax in this series is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, previous voice of teenage Ben Tennis. What a menace. But no, yeah, I mean, like, Gax is, I mean, by all intents and purposes, as a transformation, is literally just Vilgax. So, I mean, that, in terms of power, should boost him up a lot, but that's not really all there is to it. Honestly, like, I feel like he's a good all-rounder. I'm thinking like a B tier. Because, look, by all accounts, it's literally Vilgax. Like...
Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if we're basing it off the fact that it is Vilgax, he should just be S tier already. Because Vilgax is so cool. But
like
Gax isn't Vilgax, so like we don't. I don't know how we properly rank him.
Gax,
you know what I mean?
Gax is an OG Vilgax, sure, but it is still, Vilgax. It's just not. It's not the Vilgax that we all grew up with, but it is still a Vilgax transformation. So I mean, where are you thinking of ranking him?
Okay. I got two ways of thinking it. If we take everything, considering the past series as well, I'm thinking behind Ultimate Swampfire, but if we're just doing based on the reboot, behind Wild Mutt.
I think you'd have to base it off the reboot because, I mean, granted, I have no say in this right now, but I'm just saying. You'd have
he's trying to ever inch it so it goes slightly in his favor. Well, now I'm kind of leaning towards Ultimate Swampfire. Right?
But no, hear me out. The difference is that Ben has control of him, and then all the other stuff, he is just an evil douchebag. So, and it, I don't know. He's powerful.
I mean, yeah.
But how many times has he lost?
Plot reasons.
You can say plot reasons all you want, but how many times has he lost?
Like every time, yeah, like he's lost. Okay, what's your point?
So if he doesn't win a battle, how are you gonna put him? How are you gonna put him up that high?
Okay, because Swampfire hasn't won literally like most of his fights.
Yeah, a lot of aliens in S well, not a lot, but like a few aliens in S tier have gotten their heinies kicked quite a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of them are pretty big jobbers. All right.
Yeah, but none of them.
I'm gonna be honest. Every single alien, maybe aside from feedback, have like been humiliated in one way or another.
Even the king of S tier, Diamond Head.
We know Wrath was, especially when he was controlled by a little girl.
That was not his proudest moment.
That was definitely not his proudest moment, but it was funny as all get out.
I was gonna say it was funny.
It was so funny. He's like, "Oh my gosh, that was great."
At least with Diamond Head though, like when Diamond Head like loses, like do you guys remember when Kevin 11,000 broke out of the Null Void and he did like the Sonic Scream, and Diamond Head nearly like shattered. That was cool. Like he lost with Aura.
Yeah, he nearly shattered.
Mm-hmm.
But like back to Gax, I mean,
Look, wherever you guys put him, I have to honor. I know. But whatever.
I want to. I really want to because like it is possible. It's very plausible. Like it's basically like already like dead set. Like Ben can like Prime Ben can very much like get a sample, and he could turn into like a way stronger Vilgax. Probably not one with as much like sauce as Vilgax because transforming into the alien and knowing everything they can do is one thing, but having experience with that alien is something else entirely. Yeah.
But also Vilgax will go deeper than what Ben would go. Like he would go further, mainly because like he won't hold back at all. Like to try to do whatever he can to win. So,
but to be fair, Ben doesn't really hold back, and that's with other aliens too.
So, what I'm thinking, right, is we've mentioned Ben's aliens as other characters before, like with Kickenhawk, right? With 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 Liam, right? We talked about Liam more than we talked about Kickenhawk. You know what I mean? And
I-
like he's part of the reason we put Kickenhawk like higher than what he would have been. You know what I mean? So I feel like Vilgax has to help represent Gax.
okay, I gotta stay out of this because listen, when it comes to Vilgax, you know, like first of all, he's one that he will never be able to use again because he got out, and you know,
Still plausible to be used again.
well, I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say he could scan just. I forgot the female counterpart to Vilgax in the OG movie. I forgot her name. The assistant to Azimuth. What was her name?
I forgot,
Uh,
but I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, he could just take a DNA sample from her as well.
well,
Like it's still plausible to turn into like Gax, but as for Vilgax,
right.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
look,
mean, I guess like
from now
I
on,
feel like we
Liam,
need to just nip this in the bud, and just I feel like we should just kind of put him in B tier, because like again, as magnificent as the Gax transformation is, like he didn't really show up that much. Only used in the reboot. Would have loved to see him in the Prime universe though. Like that would have been really interesting to see.
I would have.
I mean, like yeah, like Gax overall though is just like I said in the beginning. I feel like as much as I would want to rank him behind or in front of Ultimate Swampfire, he's a good all-rounder alien. Like at least screen time wise. Like I feel like the other half is like his sheer power. And the whole thing of like, well, it's a Vilgax transformation. Dang, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. What did you say? Behind or in front of Wild Mutt?
I said behind Wild Mutt.
That's fair. I can live with it.
by the way, like I said, Kicking Hawk's counterpart, Liam, 100% will always be known as Liam Hemsworth now. Like to me,
Liam Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. Like, come on. So, all right. So you said behind or in front?
Behind.
Behind Wild Mutt.
Okay.
And there we go.
Well, it's cemented now. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's time for the pop rock champion himself, Shock Rock. Grim, how about you take this one?
Shock Rock is he's an alright idea, but I feel like in execution he's a little bit lacking. Cause he's very clearly supposed to be like the energy that constructs a golem of stone, and he uses that to fight, right? But his design, I don't like the fact that he's got teeth. Why does he have pearly whites? I wish
art style
I-
that could easily change.
that could easily change. That could easily change. I feel like there's a little bit too much energy. Like okay, I think it should be a similar situation to like Heat Blast. I feel like he needs more rock like around like his arms and fists, because that being just the bare energy feels a little weird. The shoulder pauldrons are good. I wish that the design for the energy to leak out of them was a bit like different. Maybe they could like I don't know. Maybe they could like arc together and make like a lightning cape or something. I don't know. He's got potential, but I think for what he is right now, he's not the greatest. I don't think he's the worst design, but he's not one of my favorites.
I quite like it. As
I mean,
weird as
fair,
it may
fair.
seem, I could see why you don't like him, but like also at the same time, I do like him. He's he, he really he's like kind of a standout, even though he kind of follows like the same beats as like Heat Blast with like the whole like element contained
Rock,
with like a
yeah.
rock body. I guess the neat thing about him is that like yeah, he's like I think not like shock rock, but he's also kind of like energy.
Okay.
He also can form any weapon that he wants because he just kind of form it out of his
Manifest
like
it, yeah.
energy. Yeah. He also came with a unique upgrades for every alien, if I remember. He can enhance, or like his DNA could enhance the other aliens in one way or another by like giving them like the energy boost. So like Heat
The
Blast
jetpack
got
for
like
Heat Blast, yeah.
yeah, and then Forearms got like the big energy like gauntlets.
Knuckle dusters.
Yeah. And like that was a pretty neat thing that he came in. It was like a good old package deal, which not a lot of aliens come with. The last thing we had, or the last like gimmick that we had with the aliens was Skurd, with like the like his boogerness
Mm-hmm.
melding like different DNA. But like for Shockrock, it's like he's his own transformation, but he also boosts the other aliens until eventually that was lost. I forgot how, but like yeah, it was eventually lost and it was replaced by something else. But like he's interesting, and his species is also interesting as well, considering they are conquerors of like the galaxy. So they just kind of go around and they conquer different like planets for resources. So like they're literally like fighting for survival. I think there was actually an entire arc dedicated to like Shock Rock, which I forgot what it was, but I think they were like I'm probably gonna get this wrong, but they were using the Omnitrix as like a gateway to like get there and conquer Earth. And that was a whole thing.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, like they're like it's fascinating. Like again, there's more to him, and I really want to appreciate that a lot. But like yeah, he's good alien. He's been throughout. And I don't know. I feel like he was just kind of. I feel like they were kind of piggybacking off of Heat Blast though.
A little bit.
Not that I'm
My-
complaining though. I love like more aliens that like are rock golem aesthetic.
Yeah.
I love that.
Again, my biggest problem with him is the fact that he's got teeth. Really, that's like it's just weird.
Just like make it so like he talks like Mr. Magneto up there. He just like doesn't have a mouth,
Oh
but like
yeah.
you can still hear his voice just cause.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So where would you place
I
him?
think he's like probably mid to low B.
It's fair enough. He's not too much. He's not anything too special. He's just like the energy guy.
So behind
Mhm.
Chromostone?
I was thinking
like-
actually right
I feel like
behind.
Shock Rock has been treated better than Chromostone ever was.
I was gonna say I was thinking actually right in front of a Gut Rot, but I mean yeah, behind Chromosome's not bad either.
I mean, it's up to you guys. That this is literally, I don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the better energy slinger?
I don't. I guess Chromostone. The more I think
That's
about
fair.
it, just because he's just been around longer too. That's something you also got to kind of take into consideration. Not nearly as much as other things, but it's still something kind of because it just gives
Yeah.
Chromostone more to do. Not that he really did anything with that, but
That seems good.
So behind then?
Yep.
yeah.
Behind Chromostone. See
All
Chromie
right.
gonna win. A big fat dub.
That leads us to Eyebrow Guy.
Oh, slapback. I'm gonna say it right now. He's my favorite clone alien. That's right.
What's with those
Let
eyebrows?
it sink in. Let it sink in. Slapback is my favorite cloning alien.
I can understand that because I do like how he clones, but again, he's just it's just not a design that I vibe with. It's just like it's not bad. It's not like
And I
ultimate
respect your
wild mutt
decision.
levels of bad. But it's just not a design that I vibe with.
His eyebrows look like he's waving at you.
Kind of does, yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Which one are you waving at?
But it might seem a little deceiving, but Slapback isn't a really small alien. He's actually quite medium sized.
Mm-hmm. Like
And
compared to like who?
like the other clone aliens, he's taller than all the cloning aliens. So
Well, I was trying to get in like thinking of like compare his size to one of the other aliens, not just cloning, but just any alien.
He's like
oh
what, up to
well,
like
he's
forearms,
like
like
he's kind
second
of
set of
like
arms, right?
he's kind of like
He's pretty
average.
tall.
No, he's like average, like human adult size.
Oh, okay.
But like yeah, he transforms and like the way he clones, like the way the gimmick works with this guy is like every time he clones, he not only gets smaller, but he gets denser.
Oh gosh.
So like you could have like these four, like this average looking alien, but like when he clones like what 4 times, they're like these four little munchkins that run around and are it's when you get hit, I imagine getting hit by one of those is basically
It's a
getting
wrecking
hit with
ball.
a semi. Yeah, like ramming at you full speed. His
Imagine getting
voice is
punched
pretty
in the shin
goofy
by
too.
that.
Like they're so like they get small. Like I just love it so much. I really love like the antics they get into. I'm just, like he's such a good like cloning alien. I don't know. I love him. He's like my favorite of the cloning aliens.
I
Hmm.
really like that idea for the cloning, but again, like his design is just I don't. My biggest problem is that his arm pads are the same shade of green. They really should have made them like a dark gray or something. Give him some sort of color contrast because his arms they look like they just look bad. They just look bad. I don't like them.
I feel like it would have been
But
funnier if it was like if they like took some inspiration from like the Matryoshka doll, and like every time he clones, it's just a smaller version every time. There's just like a big, a medium, and then a small, and then a very very small version.
yeah,
And he could do this multiple times too. Like his power works like fascinating.
Hmm.
But I love him. I'm thinking A tier. Like, I love this guy so much.
really.
Yeah, I love him a lot. He's a good cloning alien. Are you gonna you're gonna tell me that it's not? Look, okay, you have Ditto, okay, and then you have Echo Echo,
Yeah.
and then when they split apart, it's all good. But then you have this like average-looking alien running at you, and then he slaps his own back, and then you look, and he's just smaller. And then he slaps again, and then they're even smaller, and then you're like, oh, look so adorable, and then you get punched in the face, and your skull caves in. That is absolutely
alright.
hilarious. I love that.
I mean, I feel like
Okay,
he's
so
won you over on
where-
that case, to be honest.
Where in A tier are you thinking?
Mm.
Because
I think he should go below the upchucks.
that's exactly where I was thinking. I was thinking like he's got a goofy power and stuff, but I don't know if he's goofy. You know, it'd be really funny if Upchuck ate one of his clones and then like he punches through, not through, but like he bunches around in Upchuck's gut, and then when he spits him out, he just goes and like recombines with all of his other friends.
Just small little army.
Yeah.
You're gonna put him between the upchucks.
I was
The
waiting for
long
you to say
lost cousin.
something.
I mean, I already noticed it, but like,
Yeah.
you were kind of having a little side rant there.
All
All right, time
X-Man.
for the best alien. Best alien. Already S tier. S tier.
Yep.
S
S
tier
tier.
Phoenix.
Absolutely.
And you
S tier.
cannot front this.
He looks
Surge.
stupid.
Surge.
He's a hater. He's a hater.
He doesn't believe. He's not a true Ben 10
doesn't.
son.
He looks so dumb.
He's not a true Ben Tennyson.
He's a freaking alphabet letter. That's it.
He's not a true Tennyson
He's one of the
fan.
best. He's one of the best alphabet letters, I'll have you know.
Oh gosh. You can't force me to
I'll
do
say
this.
We can. I'll say this. I think that single-handedly, he is the funniest gimmick alien to ever exist.
Blows Wakatrot out of the water.
Absolutely. I think that the fact that, like, you know, he can do the combined thing, way cooler than Blocks, right?
That don't take much.
Honestly, well, I mean, hey, Blocks is still in B tier. Honestly, I think genuinely, he needs to be buddy with Upgrade.
Like, it's hilarious because sure, he's a spoof alien. When Ben unlocks him, Surge is literally useless. Surge is like the most useless transformation ever. But Surge is also the most cataclysmic alien ever. Because Surge is a hive mind alien. A collective consciousness alien, if you will. And the more of them there are, the more bad it's going to be for whoever's going to be on the receiving end of whatever's going to happen. I don't know how, but Surge is the most awkward line. Like, the line isn't even a line. It's like this squiggly circles, just squiggly lines and triangles and squares. The line isn't a line. It's a very awful looking X. But
It's
Surge is
so funny.
Surge is honestly just one of those aliens, man. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I have to yield to, like, Grim. Like, even if I was being completely serious and saying that, yeah, this is the most worthless alien ever, put him in, like, behind Fast Track, I couldn't. Because Surge is... I don't know what to even say, man.
It's so both simple, stupid, and just, like, you wouldn't think of it. That's the funniest part. You wouldn't think that you could make an alien out of the letter X. But they did, and not only did they make it work, they made it incredibly funny, but they also made him incredibly useful when there's more of him. He can literally do anything.
Yeah. When there's a lot of them, he's literally one of, like, the best aliens in the watch. Like, bar none. He's like one of the best aliens. But, like,
So
by
goofy.
himself, he's nothing. He's just a floating X.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how they did it, but they did. So yeah, just put him right beside Upgrade. I don't know, like, if in front or behind, probably behind. But
I was thinking behind, but
yeah, okay. But yeah,
they're best friends.
There we go. We live in the timeline where Surge is an S tier alien.
The correct timeline.
The goof alien in S tier. How about that?
Well, all right. This is where I butt back into the conversation because
no.
We're down to our last alien, and I know everybody's been asking where the heck is the real X alien, and you know, like, we've been waiting on this for like ever. You know, why have you not done it yet? Well, you know what? We saved the best for last. And that is
Ex Machina.
That is the real Alien X.
Oh, okay. Just because Surge is shaped like an X, you don't see us calling him Alien X. He's Surge.
He's Putz. No.
That's what you think.
Whatever. Hey, I sat by idly and let you guys place these numbskulls out there. I never thought that none of
These
them.
deserve
they're
the highest
amazing.
respect. Alright, look, 2 of the reboot aliens got into A tier. I'm sorry, do you see
It's a travesty.
do you see any of the reboot aliens in C tier?
They should all be in F tier. All of them.
Uh-huh.
No. Because I guarantee you, none of the reboot aliens are worse than something like pesky dust or water hazard.
Oh, come on, man.
All right. Well,
But-
we're beyond that now. So the most difficult
how about-
alien.
Yeah. How about you say some things? You know, we've had our sayings. Let's let you begin
Well,
on
it's
your thoughts of Alien X.
the alien that is known as Alien X that everybody thought that he was fake, especially in Omniverse. Like,
Who's
they're
Alien
like,
X?
who's Alien X? No, I really do have one. And then he got turned into him, and then they wiped their minds
And
or something like that.
No, they died.
Oh, they died, and he remade the world. That's right. That's
They
right.
died.
Yeah.
The original universe literally got wiped from existence, and Ben had to make a new one. So everything from that point onwards, those are just replacements.
Yeah.
Those are not the originals. Those are replacements.
Oh
And,
gosh.
you know, as absolutely mind-shattering as that would be for literally all of us except Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would be able to live with the fact that the universe
friends are
that I made, it's not remade, I made, and just kind of shaped in the image of the original.
Right.
I don't know how I'd be able to live going into this podcast and knowing that you aren't the original Phoenix and Grimm.
I thought I've been
Like,
replaced
no,
twice though already.
Oh yeah, all you guys are actually, you know, recreations that I made. So
Yeah.
you know, yeah, right.
No one believed him like at all until the trials.
Get a load of this guy.
Think
Like-
he's off his meds.
Yeah. But let's face it. Look, this is like the most difficult alien ever because he will sit there for days until they come to an agreement, at least early on. like they just would not like give in to Ben ever. Eventually he would, and then they do their thing, and there you go. Like they held Ben hostage one day, and you know just would not turn back. And like there's been so much going on with Alien X. Like he is by far. Look. I know we've been waiting for this moment and everything, and not to be too anticlimactic, but he is above Diamond Head in S tier. Like, there's no way anybody could say otherwise. Like
That's a little bollocks. I feel like me and Grim would disagree with you there.
you're full of crap too. We've had this
Nope.
talk.
Nope.
We've had this talk, and
Absolutely.
You haven't had this talk with me. I
Well,
know that
no, I
for
haven't,
sure. Because
but-
you're not gonna like what I have to say.
well, of course, you're the one that put freaking Echo in C tier. So
That's because he deserves it.
so do you.
At least my boy slapped back in A tier.
But anyways, Alien
Look-
X, when it comes to Alien X, there's not one alien out there that can actually beat him. Because he is like literally the best version of that alien. And I'm just saying, like, you can say what you want, but there's no way he's better or he's not better than any one of these. Just saying.
Grim.
Go ahead, Grim. Let's hear it.
Okay. If we were ranking it on power, Ultimate Wildmutt would be above Wildmutt, and you know that would be a crime. Also, Alien X is an interesting case because it's an interesting dilemma because yeah, Ben has to get everyone to agree with him in order to do the action stuff. But the idea of Alien X, I feel like, is an antithesis to the entire concept of Ben 10 as a whole. Ben 10 has 10 aliens to use to solve situations in different ways. But then once they brought Alien X into the picture, and I know he's not used very often, And I know that he's only used when there's big moments and stuff, but he defeats the purpose of every other alien, like you said. So at what point, at some point, Ben's just gonna be like, oh, I can solve this with Alien X. Alien X is literally just, he's a ticking time bomb of, I'm too lazy to turn into a different alien, so I'm just gonna become Alien X and solve the problem that way. And that is just, one, that's just bad writing. Two, that's a crutch. And three, it's, I just don't think Alien X is an alien that, like, he needed to have some sort of like actual flaw. I know the whole, getting them to agree, that was the flaw. That was the point. But if that's the only flaw, I'd rather him just not exist.
That's a pretty big flaw, though.
I think, okay, yeah, but then again, he can't get hurt when he's not like doing anything. He just sits there. You could shoot him with as many glassing lasers that the Covenant have from Halo all you want. He's not going to care. You could hit him with as many Master Swords as you want. You could hit him with as many Omni Slashes as you want. You could hit him with literally something that could destroy the universe, and he would not care until he's finally decided, you know what, I'm going to snap a pizza into existence.
Yeah, dude just sits there T-posing.
I mean, that's the way it is, though, and until they can come to an agreement.
I know. But what I'm saying is that, like, I would just rather Alien X not exist. Now, don't get me wrong, he's had a bunch of cool moments, and he's still a cool alien, but I feel like he's still an antithesis to the idea of Ben 10 as a whole.
Well, I feel like to kind of back him up on that, in like the earliest seasons of Alien Force, you had again 10 aliens. And then, over the course of the first couple of seasons, you get introduced to all of them. Swampfire, Humongousaur, Echo, Chromastone, and then eventually we get to Alien X, and the minute he's like taken out, like he's transformed, you get the whole sequence and everything. His first scene is like when the dam breaks and like everything
he repairs the dam.
Extremely bad. He doesn't just repair the dam. He reverses time on that moment to just make it never happen. And then is like, wow, that is wow, because like wow, that's the 10th alien, and that's gonna be the alien that literally like solves every problem. But like then obviously there's the problem when Ben as Alien X doesn't move, doesn't say anything, and then you get more context when Ben is like
trapped inside himself.
When you're inside, with the
in the headspace.
Bellicus and Serena.
Yeah.
Wasn't Bellicus? I remember Bellicus at one point. No, yeah, he was voiced by freaking why am I forgetting?
I don't know.
He was voiced by Batman Kevin Conroy. Was
he?
Yeah, he was.
Huh.
But yeah, no, you're like they're stuck in there, and
that makes him even Ben cooler now.
Ben is like, okay, let's go, guys. This alien is awesome, so let's do more awesome stuff. And then Bellicus and Serena are like, no,
that's not how we do things.
Since this is your first time transforming, the first one was a freebie, but now, which I thought was pretty cool. I will admit that, like the first thing that they do, like it's a freebie. They don't even have to like discuss it. But like of the three consciousnesses, because every Celestial Sapien has three things. They have the compassion. I forgot what Bellicus was. I think he was like rage or something like that.
A jackass. That's what he was.
Rationality.
A donkey.
And
so you can say donkey, but when I say it, it's a problem. Okay, I see.
Excuse me. If you got one, I get one. Okay.
Who's the creator of the show again? The sad thing is that you probably can pull that card.
Exactly.
But no, yeah, okay, so like, yeah, no, like Bellicus is like, all that, and then Serena's all that. But Ben is like the voice of reason and like kind of like the mediator between the two. And like, Ben is a unique case in that sense because he's human. He's not like the other Celestial Sapiens where like it's all three of them. Ben is like his own unique case with Alien X, and well, you kind of had that whole thing, and then the episode runs through, and Ben is just absolutely sick of Alien X already. He's like, "Turn me back right now. I don't care about anything you guys have to say or like whatever's going on. I have 9 other guys that can do the job better." And that's literally it. Like, Alien X only ever appears when it's absolutely necessary because the plot has no other reason to go forward.
I mean, I agree, but also you can't say that, like, look, his freaking just him himself, his design is cool as all get out. Like, I really love his design.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It is
now,
simple,
but also
it is cool.
Yeah, like he's really good design, and also like just his whole like species in general, because this is a whole species. It's not just like it's not even like nanomech or like one of those other ones where it's just like one like the last alien that only Ben can use because the others are dead, or it's a unique creation. Alien X and Celestial Sapiens are a whole species.
Oh yeah.
Like, they're all just chilling out there, just kind of sitting there and doing nothing. And that's like one of the goofier things, because the show made it like one of the things where like, yeah, the Celestial Sapiens are the reason that the show changes art styles every time.
Oh
and
yeah.
why Azimuth looks different or has a different voice. And that's so like, it's interesting how they write that, and it's also just fascinating in general that this is a whole species that if they could really just if they had like the ability to do whatever they wanted and didn't have the 3 like minds, who could feasibly stop an entire army of Alien X's?
There's too much arguing in their head though to figure that out. Like, in all
No, yeah,
honesty,
but that's my point though. Like, if they didn't have like the arguing and it was just one individual mind in each of them, the whole species would be unstoppable.
look,
Like, again, it's like one thing in like conversations like with Ben 10 just needs to turn into Alien X. It's another thing to have to fight an entire army of Alien X's.
right.
And Alien X can already basically turn into like multiple like different like clones to just like mess someone up, but like an entire army of those things, like it's just something else. But like back to the other thing, like it's 10 aliens, and I feel like the point is, as awesome as Alien X is, he would have been better as the 11th alien, not the 10th. Because at that point he just kind of feels like a wasted slot. Like, we could have had like any other alien. We could have had something a lot more, well, maybe not as interesting as Alien X, but like something more fitting with like the early seasons of the show. And not to discredit Alien X, because to pull an alien that powerful out so fast is a big play, but like I feel like we really should have started slow, and then over time, just bam, Alien X. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the way they brought out Alien X in the reboot is absolutely abysmally awful as Alien X is in the reboot. It made more sense because that Ben had to witness both his grandpa Max and Gwen die by Vilgax, and he was so enraged that as forearms he broke the Omnitrix on his chest, like the symbol, that it fizzled out and exploded, and he turned into Alien X. That was a good way of introducing Alien X, like, at least to me. Like, I really love that introduction for Alien X, because it is a Ben that has basically just lost everything and is on the fritz. Like, that's a good way to introduce like Alien X. Like, the way, I don't know, I just feel like popping him out like that, and then like he's not used because with the obvious flaws, it's just I don't know. Like again, he's just a divisive. He's a divisive alien, and that's not even like in the sense of like, oh well, can he beat like Superman or Goku and all that stuff? This is literally like we're talking about the show. Like him going up against other fictional characters is a whole different ball game entirely. Like in terms of the show, Alien X is I don't know. He's such a strange alien to try and rank, and obviously he's not going to be low. But like back to the point, he's I can't I don't know Phoenix. I don't
you
feel
got
like
you got my
S tier.
place. You got my place. That's
I don't
I'm
think
not
he's
I'm not
even S
moving from
tier.
him. And to tell you the
Fine.
truth, the thing is when it comes to him, I liked it in Omniverse how he finally got them to agree to just argue it out why he used Alien X.
I like how they made him look like the Crimson Chin in Omniverse. That is my
he,
response.
The
to that.
Mega Chin.
he kind of does look like Crimson Chin, but
I really liked his more mythical design in Alien Force, but
you guys,
the shovel chin is nice.
there's no way you guys are going to change my mind about him because he truly is he is super OP, and he was used enough throughout the whole series for me, push him that high. He, there's the arguing and there's the other things, and we know in Alien X, what are they called? Their actual alien race,
Celestio Sapiens.
the Celestio Sapiens, can be beat because, look, they chose their fighter against Ben, and Ben won. So
Gladiator. That's because the Gladiator still had the the Gladiator was more sharp in the decisions it made.
yeah,
But Ben, again, it's just really weird to think about. But in that episode, Ben was like, "Okay, give me full control of Alien X, and I will let you two argue however long you want." And they're just like, "Deal." That's it.
yeah.
That's it. And from then on, Ben literally has complete and utter control of Alien X from then
Yep.
on forward.
And and that's the thing. I think that, like, to be fair, Ben's not gonna like completely abuse the power of him. Yes, he remade the universe, but that was like either that or lose
That was
it
out of
completely.
necessity. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but not abuse the power. I feel, and then there was that one episode with the Rooters where Ben literally turns into Alien X and forces them all to fight each other.
Oh yeah.
Okay, tough guy. I see your point. It doesn't abuse his power, all right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean,
they literally just had Ben turn into Alien X just to show show Kevin and make Cervantes manipulate him even more to prove oh yeah, Ben's evil. Look at him, he has all that power. Look at him, he just turned into Alien X. Look at how he's turning against everything. That's literally all. I think that was the last scene we saw of Alien X.
yeah.
Him pitting others against each other and just messing around. Look, then at that point, Alien X is literally just the Deus Ex Machina. Ben could literally just turn into him whenever he wants to, and just kind of that's it.
To be too fair, he still can't turn into any alien he wanted to at that point. He's still he in Omniverse, he got to the point to where he didn't know which alien he was going to get still. Even when they told,
because I feel like even then, as much of a genius as Azimuth is, the holograms in the silhouettes of the past Omnitrixes are way better to read than the freaking head icons, all in green, by the way, of the finalized Omnitrix. You cannot tell me that even you, in the heat of the moment, even when you're just trying to do basic things, you can't tell me that you yourself would not have a hard time trying to figure out which alien you're going to pick because that is abysmal.
But he
And
smacks
also
the
because,
Omnitrix around like horribly. He
well,
beats
also
that thing
that, yeah,
down.
also that as well, and also
Yeah.
because the Omnitrix just decides to take the wheel and is like, no, you need this alien.
Yeah. You don't need that one. You take this one. The worst. Here you go.
Look,
But
Grim, just tell me your ranking.
yeah, let's get this over with because this is gonna tick me off anyway. So
Rip
go
the
ahead.
Band-Aid off.
Low to middle C tier.
You're full of crap.
Ooh!
Nope.
You're
Nope.
so full of crap.
Dude, I have other reasons that I didn't even get into why I don't like Alien X. I gave the most prevalent reasons.
We could stretch out this episode for another hour.
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
So much crap.
He isn't a bad alien. He's just like, again, the design is cool. The power set in theory is cool. I just don't like. I just don't. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. It's not that I don't like him. I just don't like it.
What, the writing?
Sometimes.
All right, so Arson, where are you placing him?
Oh. Dude, I mean,
Yeah, go ahead. Side with him after he destroyed half of your freaking tier list. Go ahead.
okay, you don't see me being so salty about it though.
Hold on. Do you want to roll back a few episodes?
Okay, well that was literally in the moment. I'm not holding a gun to his head. And again, it's with like the Terraspin thing. I would have that man in S tier, but I was being fair. Like, come on now. And besides, I wasn't gonna go like freaking C tier. I was going to say he goes above forearms.
So all right, top of S, top of A, and wherever the heck Grim wants him.
Behind pesky dust.
No, okay, calm down. I
Well,
may not
you
like
said
him, but
you
not
said
that much.
mid. You said
I said mid to low. Yeah, all right. I was thinking behind Buzzshock.
Yeah. Well,
What do you mean?
so I don't even know where to put him. Like, in all honesty, with two high and one, well, not even like one too high and one low like that, he's gonna end up.
You can
Just
nip
put
this
him in his own
bud.
tier. Just put him in the X tier.
No,
No,
you
we're not
can't do
doing that.
If Grim agrees, would you agree to him dethroning forearms?
I mean,
Because
he's not.
let's be honest.
I'm thinking.
He won't be S tier.
I
But,
know,
like-
I know.
I mean, either way, he's not going to be. He's going to be.
I was gonna say, even with my original pick, he's still gonna be like fairly low.
Now he'll be
But-
an A tier,
but
but,
I'm thinking-
somewhere.
Yeah, he'll be an A tier, but he'd probably be somewhere behind like Snarrow or something. I don't know. Okay. I suppose that's fine on one condition.
Name it.
We put Ripjaws above Atomics.
We can't. We can't.
You know we can't do that.
That's it's
No,
once it's set,
you
we
know-
don't move.
You know the rules. Give him. Make another demand that doesn't have to do with the rearranging of the tier list. There's got to be a mediating to this. Got to find common ground.
Mm-hmm. In front of Ultimate Humongous Horror.
You don't want him to dethrone forearms.
No.
Well,
I feel like it'd be iconic, but also at the same time, this comes down to like, because Forearms has been the undisputed
He's-
champion.
For like the entire time he's been set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, either way it goes, it's not going to happen. So, unfortunately, that's where it's going to have to go if I guess if Grimm is agreeable with that, but I think it's a travesty. I'm sorry, and I won't change my mind about that.
I mean, hey, it's better than what he would have been if I stayed to my ground. Because again, I think he's a fine alien. I have my problems with him, but I see his benefits. All right, I do. I just don't think that they raise him up that high. But I know you guys hold him in high regard, so I'm being compromisable. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but it's close enough.
All right. So what say you,
Oh.
Arson?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with whatever. Honestly, I'm just you're so disheartened. And I'm just like, this ain't a trapper situation. The Golden Boy isn't going to be the top of the list this time around.
Yeah, it's because never mind.
I mean, that would have been last, and I mean, he's already in S tier, so.
Indeed.
Well,
Dang, below atomics, huh?
well, there you go. You
Well, you know, it's quite ironic since they both have a fusion form. So I mean, it's the little things.
yeah, you just keep telling yourself that. So, on
If you
note,
want my completely honest opinion, I would have put him in B tier. I just wanted to see Forearms dethroned. But
well,
this
he
is the
didn't.
best we're going to get.
He didn't get it. So, well, as you guys can see, the final list is now up on YouTube. You can see that now, and it's crap show glory. I
think this is our best tier list yet.
No.
There were so many highs and lows.
So many wrong
It was a
opinions.
bumpy ride.
It's all wrong.
But
I know we should have had Echo in D tier.
That really would have changed the timeline.
There'd have been a lot more in D. That's for sure. All right, guys. Well, on that note, like I said, you see the tier list. Tell us your thoughts on it and how horrible it is, especially that last one. And let us know your thoughts.
If you want to give us your victory lap, man, you should go ahead and say all the names.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that now.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, if you guys want to know more about
food,
if you guys want to know more,
this is how we did it, man, wasn't it? You know, we were gonna have that final victory lap where somebody says all of the aliens' names.
to be fair, we never really did that like in the last two that we've done.
No, we did it in
Well,
the
that's because this is the
tier list.
finale.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is like at the end of the Star Trek one, we didn't do it then.
Oh, okay.
That's probably
Alright, yeah, fair enough.
because Zombie didn't want to do it, and I wouldn't blame him.
So, all right, to give you the list, Arson's gonna say it one more time.
All right. Why don't you just send the photo to Grim, and then we all can do it like one at a time.
No. Let you do it. Go ahead.
Oh,
You're the one that wants to.
Buzz man.
A buzz shock.
We could have all come up with like funny like names for the aliens as we went down. But all right, fine.
The entire like bottom half 30 minutes of the video would just be us thinking of goofy names for each alien.
Exactly.
I mean, we're already at 1 hour and 14 minutes, so
Yeah.
That's honestly not that long.
longer than what you
longer.
thought it was gonna be.
All right, NS tier, the undisputed champions. We have Diamond Head, Cannonbolt, Wrath, Swampfire, Ultimate Echo, Accelerate, upgrade, surge.
Yeah, baby!
We made it. Ghost Freak, Heat Blast, Way
Yes.
Big Chill, Feedback, Humongousaur, Ultimate Swampfire, Clockwork, and the Armored NRG. And an A tier, the Undisputed Four-Armed King stands tall, followed by Armadillo, Atomics, Alien X, Ultimate Humongousaur, the unarmored version of NRG, Ripjaws, Snarrow, both Upchucks, Slapback, Goop, Overflow, and Gray Matter. And in B tier, we have Crab, man. I could really go for some Crab.
Crab Ragoon.
Brainstorm, Gravitack, Ultimate Cannonball, Shock Squatch, Terraspin, Wild Mutt, Gax! Spider Monkey, Ball Weevil, Eatle, Blocks, Wild Vine, Ben Wolf, Joe Pesci, Gut Rot, Ditto, Chromastone, Shock Rock, Amphibian, Vampire, and Eye Guy. And in C tier, we have Magneto, Echo, Jet Ray, Astrodactyl, Arctiguana, Mustache, my old man, Stinkfly, Buzzshock, Liam, Nanomech, Ultimate Monkey.
And excuse me, that was Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah, Liam
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, my
Yes.
bad. Water Hazard, Pesky Dust,
Worse Overflow.
Bullfrag, and Ultimate Big Chill. And finally, in D tier, we have Crash Hopper, the best, Frankenstrike, Fish on Legs, Spitter, Grimstoe, Overkill, Way Bigger, Savage Pup, and that one Speedster guy. And you know what? Since we're here, I feel like
Accelerate at home.
I want to bring up one last thing. Since we're all here, and I guess we probably have a little more time. I want to do one more thing. Ben said, or I guess he stated, that if he wanted to be an alien, he would be Feedback. Now I relay this question to you all. If you were going to be one of these aliens forever, which one would you be?
Wrath.
Wrath is a pretty good choice.
As long as I didn't have someone controlling me.
Man, that is tough.
I didn't even have to think. I was ready to
Honestly,
throw it out there. That'd be funny if you said Echo.
I was thinking of saying Ultimate Echo, but honestly, it's a three-way tie between Humongousaur, Cannonbolt, and Armadillo.
Must pick one.
Yeah, I have to pick one.
I know. All right.
You don't have to hide it anymore. You can just say Surge.
Oh my goodness. Now I want to say Surge.
It's trash that he got the freaking
You know
S
what?
here. Ugh.
You know what?
Come on.
You know what? You know what? We'll be the main man himself, Heat Blast.
What I was gonna say Swampfire.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like there's something just so iconic of having your head on fire all the time.
Yeah, you'll save a lot on your heating bill.
This is true.
All right, well there we go.
And you'll make a wonderful friend at campfires.
Nope.
Because you will be the campfire.
I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to be Diamond Head because you could just chip a piece off of you and sell it for a bunch of money.
How are you gonna find someone rich enough to buy it?
Millions.
Undersell it because it'll just grow back. So, I mean, but all right. Now that we got that little piece of
very fancy jeweler store.
Yeah. Now that we got that little piece of information out, it's time to end this episode. It's been a blast working on this. I know he wants to draw things out.
It's over.
11 weeks of Ben 10. It's been great until the last 20 minutes.
I'm sure there's a couple more aliens we can rank.
And anyways, so
The one elephant.
Where would you put Mr. Smoothie?
The opposite of where you guys would put him.
Still salty.
S tier for Smoothie. S tier for Smoothie. There
D
you go.
tier.
It sounds like you could use a smoothie yourself.
I probably could. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening to this, and look up next time. We're going to be, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Shut
Well,
what?
It's
He was
been a
yelling
ride.
at Wild Mutt.
Sorry.
Been a
We had a
ride.
wild mutt back here, barking for some reason. But yeah, it has been a wild ride. I've really
Yeah.
enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are ready for the next one, because our next one is going to be within the next week or two. We may end up taking a week off. I'm not sure. I've got to get with the other two guys. It's going to be myself, Zombie, and Ocean, and we're going to bring to you a Star Wars tier list, and it's going to be all about the characters, and we'll get more into that as we do it. But just a little preview for you.
Ocean, if you're listening to this, you gotta stir the pot and make it as chaotic as possible. The other two won't let you have it.
What the heck are you
It's
talking
right.
about? He's definitely going to stir the pot.
It's
you know
going
him?
to be. I gotta make sure that he's gonna go all the way. No more half
Look, man.
measures.
He's already
Look,
mentioning
man,
Jar Jar
I'm just-
Binks. Are you serious?
That's here. That's here.
Shut up. Darth Jar Jar, maybe.
Oh
But-
my
Oh,
goodness.
you know what?
I
Yeah,
can't wait.
Me and Grim have earned our break. You know.
You have.
Great.
I'm so
Relax.
excited for the ranking of Clone Trooper 7,893.
We're gonna bring those all together into one, so just one clone trooper. No,
Yeah,
no
we'll,
Rex.
We'll definitely tune in
No,
to watch.
oh, that's a crime.
Yeah, that is a crime. What the heck?
That is a crime. Yeah, I can't say
One
that
of
for
the
sure.
Best,
Oh yeah,
I was
I was
gonna
gonna say one of the best characters.
We'll make sure to tune in on our sun chairs at the beach.
Yeah, while you guys are
Yep.
taking a nice long rest. Well, this could take a few episodes as well, because we're delving into 50 characters. So it's gonna
Holy
be
smokes!
yeah, it's gonna be a minute. Unless we decide to change it at the last second, we decided 50. That's a lot. But this is gonna cover everything from episode 1 through 6 and everything in between. Well, not everything, but like a lot of things in between. So like Clone Wars, we're also going to be doing Rebels, because look, Rebels was a great show. I really like that show. So, and including the 2 offshoot one-shot movies that were done, which is Rebel, what was it called? Solo, not to mention the what was the other one called?
Rogue One.
Rogue One. So those 2 movies will also be included.
You want to know
Man.
something cool? I actually met the guy who played Darth Vader in person.
Huh.
Dude, he is gigantic. He is like incredibly tall.
Massive.
And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a Darth Vader height right there. I just want to add that. That was cool.
Just drop to your knees, my lord.
My lord.
Dude, no. Dude, it's so funny you say that, because I literally have a picture of me with my friend doing the Stormtrooper bow in front of him.
Is one of you
all right,
is one of you hitting your head off the wall or the ceiling?
Tragically, no.
Oh, dang.
We
All right.
could only fit so many references.
All right, guys. So we're going to end it here. But if you guys want to know more about From the Ashes, please check out the link. Also, well, I'll talk more about that next week. But yeah, just check out the link and do the thing, man. Other than that, I'm glad that you guys hopefully have enjoyed this freaking zany list that we did. It's crazy. Like so
It is.
crazy. There's some aliens that have no business where they are, and there's some other aliens that have no business being as high as they are. It's just like it's so crazy. But again, we do this for you. I'm not really mad. I'm just Yeah, I am. I'm upset. So on that note,
Okay. Let that temper you, because when we come back, when that Star Wars tier list is over with, we're gonna come back in full force with one of the biggest tier lists you've ever seen. And that's a
Oh
promise.
man, I can't wait to rank
Yeah, and
every
I-
single
Don't worry,
monster
me
from
and Grim-
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, me and Grim will work on that in secret.
and I can't wait. No. You can work on stuff in secret, but not the tier lists. If I don't have that up front, it won't happen.
We will.
All right. So before we hit the hour and a half mark, you guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later.
No, I know we can reach the minute and 40 minute, the 1 hour and 40 minute mark.
No!